So if you are just starting or restarting keto and suddenly you feel like you have been hit by a bus, you have fatigue, you're foggy, you have headaches, you might be a little dizzy, I'm here to help you out because what you have going on is the keto flu. And while it feels awful, the good news is it is temporary, it is fixable, and for many people, it's actually totally avoidable. So in this video, I am going to show you exactly what to eat, what to drink, what to avoid so that you can beat the keto flu fast and actually feel better while your body is shifting into fat burning mode. So let's jump in. Hi, I am Ryan. I am a keto coach and I'm a certified advocate through the Metabolic Terrain Institute of Health. I am passionate about helping men and women suffering from metabolic issues reclaim their health and vitality through lifestyle changes. So the first thing I want to talk about is what is the keto flu? So what is exactly the keto flu? It's not an actual virus. You're not sick, but your body is going through a really big shift and it's letting you know. So as you cut carbs out, your body dumps glycogen, which is your stored carbohydrate, and with it is a loss of water and a loss of electrolytes. And that is where the trouble starts. Your electrolytes, specifically sodium, potassium, and magnesium, those control hydration. They control nerve signaling, your muscle function, and even your mood. And when they are out of balance, you're going to experience these symptoms. You may experience headaches, brain fog, muscle cramps, nausea, sleep disturbances, but don't worry. If you understand what is going on, you really can fix it quite quickly. So I'm going to talk about what to eat so you can feel better. So let's start with food because what you eat can make the transition smoother. If you are coming straight from a high carb lifestyle, like you're having regular soda, bread, pasta, sweets at every meal, you don't need to go cold turkey. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it. It would be better for you to ease in and help your body adjust more gently to avoid some of the keto flu symptoms altogether. So here's a simple on-ramp that you can try. Start week 1 by just cutting out added sugars. That means no soda, no juice, no candy, no sweetened yogurts, no flavored coffees, coffee creamer. And then in week 2, you can reduce your refined carbs. So things like pasta, bread, crackers, pastries, right? And you'll replace those with real food. So you'll be eating eggs and avocado and meat, and you can do lettuce wrapped burgers. And then the week after, you can start to lower your starchy vegetables. So you're gonna remove things like potatoes and corn and lean more into leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumbers. So this slow carb taper approach is gonna let your insulin levels and your blood sugar come down slower, and it's gonna give your metabolism time to shift from burning sugar to burning fat. Now, once you're really in the groove, this is what you should be eating to support your body. So you wanna have avocados because they are loaded with potassium and healthy fats. You wanna add in those leafy greens because those are gonna restore your magnesium. You want to add in things like salted bone broth, which are great for sodium and fluid retention. Add in your meats and your eggs because those are gonna provide those bioavailable nutrients. So pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds are great because they give you a natural magnesium boost. You do wanna skip those processed keto snacks and bars, even if they say low carb. Those can trigger insulin spikes or inflammation and leave you actually feeling worse. So now I want to talk about what to drink and what not to drink. So with hydration, this is the part that trips people up. Yes, water is very important, but too much plain water without adding in those electrolytes can actually make your keto flu symptoms worse. So here's why. So when your body dumps out that glycogen, it also dumps out sodium and potassium. And if you keep chugging just plain water, you're gonna dilute your electrolyte levels even more, making the symptoms like dizziness, heart palpitations, fatigue feel even worse. But let me tell you this is one of my top tier tips. I've gone through phases where I've forgotten to stay on top of my electrolytes, and my symptoms are always nausea and headaches. They will come from out of nowhere. But the fastest relief is some salt right under the tongue. Within minutes, I feel better. It is seriously a powerful hack. So if you are experiencing really bad discomfort from the keto flu, try that salt trick to kind of relieve yourself in minutes. So overall, what you should be drinking instead, you can make your own electrolyte water by just having some filtered water and adding sea salt. You can add a splash of lemon, or you can add trace mineral drops to it. You want to have bone broth, which is rich in sodium. You can take salt shots. You can have green teas or herbal teas. You'll want to avoid energy drinks, which have too much caffeine, which will dehydrate you. Alcohol will dehydrate you. Any flavored waters with artificial sweeteners like sucralose or acesulfame, potassium, ACE-K. If you're drinking and you are still peeing constantly, or you're feeling dry, your cells are likely missing the minerals to help pull that water in. That's why electrolyte balance really matters more than just the amount of fluid that you take in. So here's what not to do when you are dealing with the keto flu, because some of the most common healthy habits can actually make you feel worse when you're transitioning. So the first one is over-exercising. During this transition, this is not the week to push your limits with bootcamp classes or HIIT. When you first start keto, your body is learning how to access fat for fuel. So high intensity exercise can raise your cortisol, it can drain your already low energy and increase electrolyte loss through sweat. So you want to stick with gentle movement. Do things like walking, stretching, light yoga, activities that are going to support recovery and not stress your system out more. You also don't want to fast too soon. So fasting can be a powerful tool once you are fat adapted. But if your body is not used to running on fat yet, skipping meals can crash your blood sugar and make your keto flu symptoms even worse. So instead, just focus on those nourishing meals, focus on your fat and your minerals, and give your body the fuel it needs to make ketones before you start extending your fasting window. Another thing you should not do is eat too little. So keto is not about restriction or starvation. In fact, if you eat too few calories, if you pair that with low carbs, you're gonna slow down your metabolism. You're gonna raise your cortisol and you will feel exhausted. So make sure you're eating enough and that your meals are satisfying. So fat is your new fuel source, and don't be afraid to use it. Another mistake is going too high in protein without enough fat. So yes, protein is essential, but on its own, it won't fuel you. So if you are eating lean meat without fat, your body may try to convert excess protein to glucose through gluconeogenesis, which will then spike and crash your blood sugar. And that will leave you feeling tired, anxious, wired at night, dragging all day. You want to aim for fatty cuts of meat, use butter or olive oil. Don't fear your animal fats. Your brain is going to love it. So now let's talk about a supplement support stack that you can add. So these are the supplements that I would suggest most during your keto transition. Always check with your health provider before making these kinds of changes. So the first one is magnesium glycinate or malate. You want at least 300 to 400 milligrams to help with sleep. It's going to help with any stress, any muscle cramps you might experience. You want to add in sodium, 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams during that first week. It can come from food, or you can add in some salt. Most people don't really need to supplement with potassium because you can get it from things like avocado or leafy greens. But MCT oil can be really beneficial. It helps to raise your ketones. You want to start slow though, because too much will send you to the bathroom. If you are feeling heavy or bloated or queasy after your meals, you might want to try a digestive enzyme, especially one that includes lipase, which is going to help your body to break down fat more efficiently. So this can be really helpful if you have just started eating more fat than you are used to, or if you have a sluggish gallbladder. Some digestive enzyme formulas will also include ox bile or bile salts, which can help fat digestion even better, especially if you've had your gallbladder removed or you're experiencing loose or oily stools. But you definitely want to talk to your doctor before adding any of these things in. So you can just follow the directions on the bottle just before the meals that you eat and see how you feel. And for some people, it really is the missing link into that transition into keto, and it prevents that post-meal bloat and helps your body actually use the fats that you're eating. If you are still struggling, it might be more than electrolytes. If you have added in those electrolytes, you're eating all the fat, you're getting plenty of sleep, but you're still feeling off, there are other things that could be wrong, and I can cover them in a different video. It could be things like gallbladder issues. You may have histamine sensitivity. You could be experiencing blood sugar crashes. If any of these things sound like you, don't panic. It doesn't mean that keto is wrong for you. It just means that your body will need more tailored support. So here's what I want you to remember. The keto flu is not a failure. It is just your body adapting, and that process can be smooth if you support it the right way. So remember to eat whole mineral-rich foods. You want to hydrate with electrolytes and not just plain water. Avoid over-exercising, avoid fasting too early, prioritize fat, and don't fear the salt. So if you are feeling off, there is always something that you can do to adjust. Just trust and listen to your body, be patient, take care of your metabolism as you make this shift. If this video helped you, give it a like and share it with someone who is starting keto. You can drop a comment below if you have experienced the keto flu and share what has worked best for you. We can help each other out in the comments. So you've got this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.